I generally hope you're all doing well, especially when it comes to mental health. So I'm going to play a video for you, and there's a point that I'm going to make, and I just want you to understand something right now, okay? This is something that I've observed. I've been discussing mental health issues for 15 years, suicide rates going up longer than some people have been subscribing to me. So some people are not very well versed with my history and how long I have fought for your rights and your freedom. And when you deal with conspiracy theories, when you deal with fake news, you deal with some people that have significant mental health issues. And I've been saying for years, this is spiritual attack coming from the unseen realms. And some people will treat me as if I have this word here, schizophrenia. That is bullshit. That is Satan talking to you. It's not schizophrenia to know there's evil in the world. It's not autism to have an ability to understand the solar cycles. Having said that, you need to understand something. This woman that you're about to see is not what I would consider people to consider ugly. I consider this woman to be attractive, and I don't really view her illness as something that needs medication or something that needs to be labeled schizophrenia. That was her choice. What I'm here to tell you is she's saying she's in psychosis right now. She's not exposing anything about the New World Order, so she's not attracting people to her with those entity issues. I am. I attract people that act like they're my friends or have remorse for what they've done, but they actually hate me and will deny that I've gone through certain things. So when I express emotion for caring about you, America, people treat me like dirt. So this is how this is going to go down. We're going to watch this video together, and then we're going to look at the comments. And you're going to read the comments with me. And you're going to look at the amount of likes on this video. And you're going to face the truth. Because of what she is on the outside, people support her. But when I stand up for you and try to expose China, you step on me when I tell you about my wounds. And so a lot of content is going to be members only. This was a test for 5 months to see where you were at. And the comment section has been open for a long time, and people have chosen not to use it. And I'm also shadow banned. You got to understand, if you want to keep up to date with what I'm doing, you need to be more advanced than the haters, because they stay up to date with me, right? And so you need to understand, you need to bookmark the sites. You need to support alexansary.substack.com and be a part of the solution. Help me get my message out there, because this is not being done for money. I'd rather have your prayers and your love than your money. And I actually said that recently. Then I was attacked afterwards for no reason whatsoever, for being a human being. I don't believe in attacking back, but I believe in affirming one's value. And some people don't want to hear about someone else's pain. So, okay, I shared a lot with you for 5 months. Next week, we're going to be discussing geopolitics, Russia, Taiwan, and the upcoming World War III scenario, right? Whether you like it, don't like it, doesn't matter. And we'll also talk about spirituality and various forms of insight so you can tap into your own power. And I'll give you my survival tips and information that I think is relevant. And this is not a commercial. If you were on the route for Azure Standard, and if you are thinking about getting food and going off grid, I recommend that company. They've never given me a dime, but I buy from them personally, and I'm going to buy from them again. So there is a chance, folks, and we're going to watch this video. There is a chance, folks, that the grid could go down and your money. I'm not guaranteeing you this. I'm saying it's possible. And if you want to talk about a mental health issue where people are feeling suicidal, wait till you lose nothing. Let's begin.
I don't really know what to say right now because my mind keeps just going blank. I think the reason why I decided to pick up my camera and record today is because I think a criticism that I get sometimes is that I come across as being well all the time and I don't show the more difficult aspects, periods, or whatnot of living with an illness like schizoaffective disorder. And so I kind of wanted to try to be a bit more transparent about being in a difficult period and experiencing some of the more difficult aspects of the illness. So it's been about not quite a week, but a few days of
So we're going to go back and forth. In the current mental health system, if you have perspectives about aliens, jinn, Illuminati, New World Order, reptilians, demons, shapeshifters, you can be considered, and maybe in the future they'll take you away. There are some people that have certain beliefs regarding certain alien things that are not grounded, in my opinion. Just having psychic abilities is not spiritual. By looking at her and her natural beauty, and she does take medication, meaning she would be a lot more beautiful, actually, believe it or not, without the medication. Because of what it does to the libido, because of what it does to speed up the aging process, it dumbs down the pineal gland, these drugs that they give away for free, yet they ban cannabis at the federal level. I told you, but no one told me, but I figured it out. You don't just want the THC by itself, you splice it with the CBD and you get rid of that psychoactive aspect. Some people haven't even tried it. It's too bad. CBD by itself doesn't do much. So this woman is in, I guess, some sort of a mental institution. I am not criticizing her. I'm criticizing society for acting like her feelings matter. And yet I'm not attacking her when I say there's really nothing on her channel about, what really is schizophrenia. Without calling it schizophrenia, it's demonic attack. And I think that this good-looking female may be under spiritual attack. And I've been saying for years that when the solar cycle kicks back up, people come under attack. And I have a blog about this, and I invite you to read it. I'm not crazy, and I'm tired of people acting like I'm crazy. And if you have never heard about spiritual attacks and the sun, if you're familiar with a guy who had on Alex Jones, his name is Clyde Lewis. He works for a guy named Ron Patton, or vice versa. Patton is his producer. He wrote a blog on a solar demon. It's the idea of humanity coming under attack when the solar flares attack us. Some would have a perspective that the sun is really the God force. I look at it more of a neutral, that it boosts up our energy as well as the alien jinn forces. So I look at it as it's not entirely good or bad. There's some awesome stuff that comes when the sun is active, and then some not so awesome stuff. But what I am convinced of this, and so is science, what they label schizophrenia, which I label spiritual attacks or perception into the unseen realms. It may not even be spiritual attacks. Just becoming aware and look at her eyes. She looks like she's waking up. What if she's waking up to the alien agenda and she thinks it's schizophrenia? Before some of you point your fingers and blame someone else who's experiencing something that you don't understand, pause and think about things. It's also highly ethnocentric, Google that word, to see me as ill for interpreting spiritual attacks. For viewing that as mental illness is quite sad. I'm trying to help you. And if you're really honest with yourself and you take a really close look at the things that I'm saying, I'm trying to help you in a lot of different ways, even if some of you made it your life goal to make my life miserable. I don't retaliate against you. I continue to make information to help you. Because I've asked for years, like in that blog that I wrote in 2005, 19 years ago, that was published by Rinse back in the day when they would post my content. I asked the question, as I ask now, are your thoughts your own? So I'm actually having to do some multitasking to make sure I can work the mic as well as going back to the video. So bear with me.
Of red flags popping up. It's difficult to hold a train of thought right now. I'm sorry. Red flags popping up around indications that I am slipping into a psychotic episode. And I think that this has been more difficult to identify and understand because usually when this happens, it's because I stopped taking my meds or whatever. And I haven't done that this time. I'm still taking my medications regularly. I feel like I've been trying to do a really good job of taking care of myself. And so I think it was difficult to identify when things were slipping, but Rob kind of brought it to my attention yesterday, and it kind of clicked that I don't feel I have a good grip on my reality right now.
These drugs that they tell these people are safe not only harm you physically, but they cause psychosis, and I believe they cause spiritual attack. And I believe that when you come off of some of these drugs, that some people can become possessed by the demons that come out of your body. And my speculations on what's really happening in spiritual warfare in the mainstream pharmacy communities are still maturing. Stand by.
And so that's something that I'm struggling a bit with coming to terms with, in terms of I feel like I've been doing everything right. I missed a dose of my medications. I think it was 2 Sundays ago, and I'm kind of becoming fixated on, well, that's why this is happening right now. But that doesn't actually make a lot of sense. I have a PRN, as needed medication from my doctor for when I'm experiencing more symptoms. And so I decided to take that yesterday to kind of deal with the slipping away from reality sensation that I was experiencing. And it really, really sedates me. And so it's been probably almost 24 hours since I took that, not quite.
Now, there are people in the medical field that may be taken over by entities that don't care about some people's health. Okay.
But I feel like the sedating effect is kind of finally starting to wear off. But the last 18 hours or whatever have been very much just kind of being stuck, laying in bed, having a difficult time communicating with Rob, who's the main person who's supporting me. And yeah, it's been a difficult period. And I don't think I'm doing a great job of communicating about it. Maybe I'll talk more about this, specifically the symptoms and whatnot that I was experiencing, at a later time when I feel I have a better grip on things. But the gist is that I don't feel that I have a good grip on my reality right now, and it feels distressing and scary.
Now we'll look at the comments there. How many comments are going to be attacking her? Because she didn't draw conspiracy folks to her channel, she's not going to be viciously toward a new one. And she's not ethnic, and she's not pushing back against racism while talking about mental health issues, or saying that by being judged in the post. I woke up in treatment after 9/11 be called the enemy of America. My last name was Islamic, and people have the gall to tell me that I don't even look Middle Eastern. This happened to me, folks, recently. This literally happened to me because to that person, he doesn't have the perception. He believes it's all a show. Years and years of being called the SN word and other things. And yet I share my life story with absolute strangers, and people actually do things without realizing it to try to encourage me to kill myself, and they think that they're good folks. And yet I'm not attacking them. I'm not coming to their world or their Facebook page. They came to me. Each and every time they come to me. First to say great work, then to try to attack me. I don't deserve it. All I did is try to help you. and encourage you to heal your PTSD by helping those who you're harmed. Whether you went to war overseas or whether you went to war here domestically with fake news and the right-wing agenda, the Alex Jones worship, and what some of you did to me for not worshiping Trump. You think it's normal to do what you did to me and that I should be happy? I'm actually spiritual and believe in forgiveness. So enough of that. If I was this woman's counselor, there would be certain things that I would recommend, and we'll come back to that thought.
And hard to wrap my head around, because how do you wrap your head around the fact that you can't wrap your head around things, that your brain isn't working properly and that you can't really trust your brain? It's difficult to understand and come to terms with that. And
I think she's smart. I don't really watch her channel. I think she's pretty, but I don't know that she gets into spiritual topics. She sounds like she takes medication, and that's not really something that I support. If you feel like you have to take medication for something, that's on you. I'm not a medical professional, but I have a right to say that I don't believe that we should be putting those things in our body, and our ancestors evolved without those things. And if you're not consuming medical cannabis, and if you're not advocating for medical cannabis at the federal level, then you should not be in support of people taking pharmaceuticals. Not only that, for those of you that don't like the jabby jab, you're extra hypocritical if you want people to take white drugs, little white drugs, but you don't want the jab. That is hypocritical.
Figure out what to do about it. So I reached out to my psychiatrist, who I can't talk to and I can't see until next week, next Friday. But I think the plan anyway right now is to take the PRN as needed and try to get through the next 24, 48 hours or so and see how I'm feeling after that, and see I also increase
When she made this video, there was. Let's look at the date, guys. Let's look at the date. And if you go to the website that I link you to, we're going to look at the geostorms. Let's go back and see when was the geostorm in proximity to this date. So you go here, you click more, June 2nd, 2023. That's June 2nd, 2023. Okay. Let's see. How are we going to do this? Let's see. June 2nd, 2023. For that specific date, but we have June 20th, 2023, which is after that. But I bet if we keep looking and we keep looking, we will eventually find something. A small solar flare occurred within the last 40 hours. So I told you, because of the thinning Earth's magnetic field, which at least Oppenheimer Ranch understands. He has a whole channel titled it Magnetic Reversal News, for crying out loud. So the solar flare effect is stronger because of the thinning, weakening Earth's magnetic field. Okay, and so it looks like there was solar activity in and around the second. I feel like I just watched the sun fart. Are we going to explode? So here we have, I just documented for you that yes, there was solar activity around June 2nd, 2023, and around the time that she has the video. I'm in psychosis right now. I can do a lot
the
to
main
educate people about
antipsychotic
mental
that I
health
take
in America and preventing suicide.
My doctor has kind of let me titrate that dose as needed, and so I'm going to try to go up on that again and see if that helps at all in the next couple of days.
In 1859, there was a geomagnetic storm
still not
so
going
big
great,
that the aurora was visible
having a difficult
in Hawaii.
time and not feeling like things are
They had
improving at all. Then the plan is to call. It's called Access 24/7 in my city. It's basically an emergency mental health clinic. And so give them a call and see if they have any further insight into how to manage this. I'm worried that I'm going to end up needing to be hospitalized to try to figure out medications and whatnot. I haven't had great experiences with hospitals in the past, and so that's a worry, though. I don't know, there's like an ounce of hope or optimism that I feel like I'm in a different headspace with this psychotic episode than I have been in the past, where I've been a lot more not trust the people around me. And so I don't know how this video is turning out. I think it was probably not a great articulation of what I'm experiencing, but I just wanted to provide a bit more of an honest glimpse into the difficult periods. And so it feels embarrassing and quite vulnerable to be sharing about this state, because it feels it feels like a bit of a personal failure, or feels like weakness.
I was just sharing from the heart what it felt like to stand up for women and against the New World Order, and I shed tears for about 3 or 4 seconds. And basically, there were 10 uploads. And so when it comes to when people have compassion for one individual, either racial or gender, there is a reason why some people automatically will hate some people when they see emotion, and others, it's like, ah. And the fact that people are angry with me telepathically for being aware of my own enslavement on this prison planet, that is a very sad state of affairs. Because I said it before, and I'll say it again, I'm here to help you. I don't need you. I said this over and over and over again. I need humans to listen to me because I'm here on the earth to teach and help, but I don't need you personally. You need me. You came to this channel for a reason. You're still listening for a reason, even after you maybe insulted me. Why is that? What compels you to do what you do? And yet we're going to look at the comments for this woman on our channel, and we're going to see if there's a strong ire towards her. And again, what is she exposing about human trafficking towards women? I am. So why am I the target? I believe people attacking me are hijacked.
Or I don't know. You know, I would never say these things to anyone who was, communicating that they're experiencing this with me. And so I'm trying to not say these things about myself or think these things about myself, but it feels vulnerable sharing that I'm experiencing this, and also because I don't really know what to do to get myself out of it. And yeah. So that's kind of where I'm at. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen in the next few days, but I will try to be transparent about it, because I do think that it's important that people understand, again, the more difficult sides of having an illness like schizoaffective disorder or schizophrenia. And if you yourself have it, to feel less alone, and hopefully to help you not feel the things that...
I think that, it's really rare for people that know about the mental health field to be, say, for example, aware of conspiracy truths, and I am, and I do believe in counseling. And when I experienced issues with drugs and alcohol, it's not that I want to be a counselor, it's that I want to wake the world up to the New World Order. And some of you have empathy for that one. Even if you don't have the empathy for other things, you have empathy for that one. And so that was how I got off drugs in 2004 and 5. And that's why I became sick in 2020, is because I felt alienated from the internet, and I took down a lot of my quality content from the internet. And I still have thousands of videos to go through. Here we have conversations with Ike. Somebody sent this to me who is in the Archuleta County group, And one of the things that I notice is that a lot of people at times, there are times when I share my content and they're like, who are you? I only listen to Alex Jones, Donald Trump, and David Icke. And they don't take the time to look at the years and years of content that I've created. They just overlook it, or they attack it, or something like that. And it's really hurtful when people don't realize how long I've been talking about the grid. I've been doing this longer and talking to some people before Alex Jones did. And so for people to give more love to this person, when I actually have a legitimate reason, because I'm under spiritual attack for trying to prevent human trafficking. Most of you are at odds with the fact that I'm even predicting this. And you don't understand, if I wasn't doing this, my life would be so much easier and women would like me. There's only like 1 to 2 women that even say they even like me for trying to warn about human trafficking, and none of them are my relatives. So from this moment forward, I am also going to try to stop talking about my pain, and I'm going to try to stop talking about my family, and I'm going to try to stop talking about my past as much, except for the members area. And I'm going to press forward, and I'm going to give mental health survival tips. I'm going to bring on Gypsy Fox if he wants to do so. And we're going to talk about giving advice for people that are struggling.
Let me say yeah. I'm on the edge, I know the last. I work real hard to collect my cash. Tick, 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 take the time. When I'm going for mine. Open your ears and you will hear it. I tell you this cause there's no limit. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, no, there's no limit. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, no, there's no limit.
Struggling now, and we're not going to tell you to commit yourself, and we're not going to tell you to kill yourself. Killing yourself is bad and will get you stuck in the lower realms. But sometimes when people verbally say they're suicidal, they're not suicidal, they're traumatized. And the sad state of affairs is there is zero empathy for certain people that have trauma. And if you have trauma, in my theory, and it's untreated, and it's nobody cares about it and nobody recognizes it and where it really came from, that can turn into other areas that can cause you to no longer be able to interact with anyone. And in that situation, you fall into ruin and nothingness. But what do I know, right? What do I know?
But I just communicated that I'm feeling where I feel ashamed or weak or embarrassed or really, really vulnerable sharing about these things. I hope that this video helps to kind of make it a little bit more okay to talk about when these periods are happening, because
to be in a situation where no one will hold her. She is not likely to be in a living situation where no man will hold her and cuddle with her and care for her and bear children with her if that's what she wanted. It's not likely that no man wants her. I would never believe that. Not for a second. And I believe that her Patreon, if she has one, is probably through the charts. And I know why. And my being aware of this is not hate, but you hating me for that is hate. And you know, I know the truth, even if you don't know the truth yet. If you don't like the fact that I'm aware of my life history and how it compares to this woman who isn't doing anything, let's just do this now. Let's just do this now. What amazing work you do, Lauren. My son is just now beginning to recover from a psychotic episode. I mean, do you realize that I was screamed at nonstop as a child? And you don't know anything about my grandma and how she screamed so much at my grandpa that, no, there's serious insanity with the women, the white women on my mom's side. And with my dad's side, there's not a single Afghani woman that likes me because of my white side. To be hated by both sides of your family, to know both parents hate each other so bad that they literally like took their hate on each other on you. Like for those of you that have no sympathy for me, that also went through child abuse, like what is wrong with you? So my mother had paranoid psychosis, says this, and I'm not going to talk specifically about my mom, but I'm reading from the comments here. And with my mom, I think my mom thought when I was young that I was, evil. And there was a lot of things that were said and suggested that pointed that direction. I've told you some of them. And some of them came from the person that she trusted to give her channeled information. This took real bravery. My heart goes out to you. Keep up the good fight. If we go to my channel and look at my recent uploads and videos, there are no comments like this. There's no comments whatsoever. Okay, so here we have this video, Energy, Vampirism, and Courts. You saw that video. We have 18 likes. We have 18 likes on that video. Okay, what is the common denominator on the video with 18 likes? Okay, what is the common denominator on the video with 18 likes and not a single dislike? With a 630 views, above average. Because I told you this before. Right? What is the common denominator for this video that has 630 views? The algorithm literally played the video more because it had something different in the video. Do you know what it is? Let's look at the other videos first. Okay, we could see lots of dislikes, not a lot, but a few have 100%, but most, 79%, talking about Elon Musk, adding to anti-white racism by showing white people beating up black people. People don't like me for saying that. People don't like this video either. People aren't going to like this. People are going to like some of the, let's look at something that has a really low, what they really didn't like. Lots of different things. Why I didn't get in fights with people on the internet when I was being slandered. Why I took time away from the internet and took the Buddhist non-reactive way out. No, people don't like that. People like fights. They like violence. They like drama. They like harmful things. Talking about homelessness and why it is concentrated in Portland, 88%. It's actually not that bad. It's mostly support, but the issue is a number of different things. But the main thing is this. We have a video here where she's talking about this, and she's not being called a schizophrenic because not only is it a woman,
on the 11th.
It's her.
What day is it today? Isn't it the 11th today? I'm so confused. I think it might be your birthday in the United States, where we are. Hola, everybody. How is everybody? literally he hid behind those girls' energy. That's why he had to have 5, 6, 7 girls going at once. And that's why he had to have them, when they describe his sex life, I think it was Holly Madison's book, but when they described the sex life, she felt, now this is so interesting, she must have been incredibly empathic. And now people will pick on these women for going into the Playboy Mansion and etc. But let's look at it in a different way. First of all, in this society, the only thing that gets you attention, money, and opportunity is your tits and ass. Basically, they do it to men, they do it to women. I know your brain is important, but I ain't ever seen a man come up and go, oh my God, you know, your brain. No, it's not. The way people get anything, like nobody's going for the ugliest girl in the room or the ugliest guy in the room, right? So
Right. Right. So you get the picture. You can go ahead and watch the video. We will now go over here and take a look at this. I'm going to show you something here. Okay, so this is one of the first videos that got posted to this channel. Okay, and looks like I'm going to have to go this way. Okay, this is the algorithm that I'm telling you about. And what you're not considering is when you put prominent white faces on your channel, right? The hits will be far, far higher. The view counts for your actual videos will be fairly high when you put people on your channel that are prominent. Looks like I really took off with a lot of content. But you can see the views here are quite small. Some of them actually only have 20 views. Okay. So here we have Tom Horn. And he passed, and this is a video here. And we're going to go to it now. Tom Horn of Skywatch TV has passed away in the last 24 hours. He's been in the hospital for several weeks. I want to point out how his passing comes as this eclipse has come. I've been talking about the eclipses for a long, long time. And so there are some things that happen, ladies and gentlemen, in our world when we go through these eclipses. I understand there is controversy regarding Tom Horn. There is with a lot of people that deal with conspiratorial content. However, he has put out a great deal of positive content. I met him several times in Portland, Oregon. He was gracious enough to let me interview.
Then extrapolate what that might mean when we start talking about genetically modified animals and genetically modified humans who also are going to be now in the environment in the very near future. You could go in, mad cow disease, for instance, developed as a result of cows eating some of their own DNA, eating their own byproducts.
So there's a number of different things. And so I'm going to be considered a crazy conspiracy theorist by a lot of people for discussing these things and exiled by my family. Meanwhile, Tom Horn, who says he talks to God, who passed recently, who I'm not slandering, but I disagree with some of his views, but I agree with most of them and found him to be a very warm, kind individual in person years ago when I met him. But I never talked to him after 2010, nor a lot of people. A lot of people changed and joined in on the anti-Islamic meme and the conspiracy movement, and I basically lost all of my friends with few exceptions. Looks like we had 2 people unsubscribe. Perfect. If they are not fit for this content and they don't have the deep understanding, someone asked, what do I think about people leaving the country? And I said, if someone can finance it and get out, then they should do that. And then some people don't like the fact that I'm getting deeper into spirituality and I'm consistent with discussing my warnings about China and the solar cycles, right? So there's going to be spiritual attacks on my person and people gaslighting me. And if you don't know about narcissism abuse, oftentimes people project onto me what they are, then tell me that I'm projecting when I'm doing nothing to them and not going into their world. Here's Alex Ansary's message to the children. You can't tell me that for years I didn't try to play nice guy.
This is a video I've been meaning to do for some time. This is a message to the children of the world. Be you a young girl growing up in this very strange society, strange world, or a young man watching cartoons, Saturday morning cartoons, or playing violent video games, this message, this video is directed towards you. I want you to know there are people fighting for your favor, that are concerned about your future, that are in many ways more concerned about your future than your parents, than your mother, than your father. Now, we should respect our parents. We should, to a certain degree, respect our family. However, we do live in a world, as a young person, you can see how there are bad guys out there that are engaged in kidnapping people, hurting people, killing people. When I was young, many of the video games, many of the cartoons, they were heroes. Comic books, for example, they were protecting the women. They were protecting the tribe. They were protecting their families. They were fighting great evil. Today, many of you live in a world where evil is now the cool thing to be a part of. Imperialism, war, rape, destruction. There are many, many dark aspects of this world you're walking into. There are also many, many beautiful things about this world that I want you to remember. We here in this free world, so called free world. In a world, though, where they're trying to enslave us more and more, we still have free will, the ability to make decisions, choices, and there are consequences for those choices that we make. For example, if you don't go to school or if you don't eat all your Brussels sprouts or whatnot, your mom might punish you. Collectively on this planet, collectively as a species, we are humans. We may be deep spiritual beings inside these bodies, but we're humans. There are consequences for our actions, and whatever you put out there, it comes back. The point is, the core message in this video is that you have to be, as a young person today, the master of your own destiny. If you're able to read, if you're able to find this on YouTube and read the description and read different things online, it's time you start reading about where we came from. It's time you start looking at our own history as a species, but also as a nation. As a young person in the society, read about the Native Americans and the genocide that took place on this continent before
you're so crazy.
we arrived here.
Oh, you're such a hater. Oh, you're such a victim. He's such a victim, everybody. Dislike, dislike. He's such a victim. Oh, so autistic. He's like, oh, this, that, and the other. Such a victim, not deserving of help. Bad man, bad man.
Points out the evil that powerful men do. As you get older, you're going to face some very serious challenges. And there are choices that you're going to have to make, whether you want to join the predator class or the protecting spiritual warrior class. There is a divide right now in many people right now between those that are associated with the evil, darker,
you don't know anything.
nature,
We need
and those
protection
that are
from you
associating
and
themselves
your
with the
kind.
lighter, more positive spiritual nature, the true selves that we are. As a young person today, you're going to have to make your own decisions by spending your time playing violent video games, shoot-'em-up games, by going into some of the parts of the web that are dark and looking at things like pornography, by listening to Lady Gaga, by watching the UFC or the WWE. You're polluting your own mind. The reason that stuff is out there is because the powerful predators on top, the bad guys, the bad men of the world, they want us to hurt each other. They want us to hurt our sisters in particular. For the young ladies that are out there, remember, there are good men out there despite some of the imagery that you see on the TV screen. Not every man out there is a serial killer or a rapist. There are good men out there that do
why you see
and will stand.
The reason why you see 100% ratio here, and there was a couple of people that hated Tom Horn. That's why it's 98%, and they got beefs with him. It wasn't because of me. But you see, this is all 100% because the haters didn't arrive yet. So we had the first few weeks without the haters. Now the haters, they sign up, they get the alarm, and they boom. And right now we're dealing with one individual. Now we don't know which one, and it really doesn't matter. But what we do know is this, is that there are people that strongly dislike the content that I've created. And they've worked to stop the content for a number of years and turn you against me in whatever way they could, even if it meant driving me off my land. See, 100% ratio, all these videos, all the way up until recently. And I also told you that during the winter time is when we have the spiritual attacks. So here we are now. And we have a 60 percentile over at planning seasonal camping trip. That's right. People don't want to see me camp. They're not going to like that. Don't go camping, Alex. Just stay in the world of conspiracies. Let's go back. That's fine. We'll keep it on the members area so you won't be offended by the sight of nature. Poor folks. Let's go back, and I'm sure her channel is great, but if you're looking for good, free mental health advice, right? Because he actually influenced me to say the things that need to be said to my mother. And I know they hate me for it, because if they didn't, they'd say something. My dad and my mom. But what else is
I think I get blocked a little bit by those feelings in terms of being able to lean on the people around me who want to support me through more difficult periods.
Keep in mind, we don't know what she's eating, what she's watching, and what her spiritual practices are, and if she's using meditation and shielding her aura.
And I don't want to admit to them or to myself that I am struggling with my mind. Yeah, there's a lot to unpack there. Maybe perhaps that's for another video, but I'm having a tough time. I wanted to come on here and share with you all that that is kind of what I'm going through. Yeah, I guess that's all I really have for today. Thank you for listening. If you are going through a tough time as well, know that you're not alone. Yeah. I guess that's it. See you in the next video. Bye.
Okay, so she's this. Okay, what's this? Okay. She's being analyzed by this guy. Is he being nice? I was nice. Who's this guy? Who's this guy?
So I came across this video from the channel Living Well with Schizophrenia, which is a substantial channel. I haven't watched too many videos, but it's by a person with schizophrenia, and she makes a lot of content from a lived experience point of view. She does a lot of interviews. I'm going to get into it. I'm going to watch a lot of the things, but she just released a video that I thought was quite striking and vulnerable and powerful, talking about that she's not doing so well at the moment. She's finding herself falling into a psychotic episode, and I just watched part of the video, and it looks like she's in the early stages of psychosis, and she's talking about the symptoms.
There was a time, I want to thank that guy Steve for liking my post here. I'm inviting total strangers to check out my spiritual solutions. We're going to meditate together on the full moon. Did I not tell you this? We're going to meditate together on the full moon, and I'm going to use my discretion. For those of you religious folks, just stay out if you want to keep it between you and God and how you do things with the cross with Jesus and 5 times a day. Okay, this is not your speed. This is for people that do believe that we are more than human beings, that we can affect our reality. And with God, we are going to engage in a protective ritual to protect the United States of America from invasion. And we are going to focus on Chimney Rock as the new tour. Some of you are like, what in God's name is wrong with Alex Ansary? Just forget it. Just forget it. Okay. But I am trying to help. I've been attacked by New Agers that follow Ramtha for having crystals. So there's something that is like organic and innate within aspects of human consciousness today that is totally parasitic to non-white people when they want to be spiritual and protect you and your nation from attack and invasion. I deal with stress that I don't get a chance to release through either romantic endeavors because I really want a real truther girl, not a co-opted right-wing girl who hates Jews and whatnot, Like the emails that I've gotten, people, the types of people that have chosen to subscribe to me, I have no idea why they follow me. and why they haven't learned anything from me when I've talked about my experience, because they're only in this echo chamber of hearing about white victimhood. While they say that I'm playing victim, I'm telling them the truth, and I'm showing forgiveness. I really want to see people defend their nation and veterans heal from PTSD, but I'm telling you now, they all hate me. They've always hated me, and there's never been veterans that liked me, ever, right? Ever. Nothing has changed. Never say when you think something has changed that something has changed in the first week of meeting people. You wait a few months and years. And so people, by and large, are spiritually attacked to turn against me when I've done nothing to them but show emotion that frightens some of them. I've known this for years. It literally contributed to me becoming homeless. The fact that I have emotions that scare people. And I'm telling you, that's not humane to exile people because you're afraid of them and what they say. I think it's time to bring this to a close. We're going to do one last thing for you. Let's just do this now. Let's just do this. Let's try to think positive things about each other. Okay, and push out the negativity that's going to come in and try to disrupt what it is that we're doing. Okay? So if you can work your way over to Facebook to the Dion Fortune group, there is a link there for a PDF. It's the Magical Battle of Britain. So instead of go crazy and ignore these spiritual attacks, my suggestion for you is to learn how to protect yourself and your loved ones and your property from these forces. I would certainly. Imagine that you are shielded. Imagine all negative energy being reflected back to the sender and the server, if it's AI. All negative energy reflected back to the sender or the server, even if it's AI or robotics or an entity or a non-human. All negative energy and attacks sent back to the sender. Go out under the sun and visualize the aura around your field strengthening. For those of you that are new to my work, you have no idea how much knowledge I have on the sun. Some of you are here to be my students and understand how to activate your superpowers. I believe in you, Jedi, but not if you come with hate in your heart and denial of some of our lived experiences and how we have become strong. It's through the pain that I've lived that I have become strong. And so if you want to become strong, don't attack me when I share personal details with you about my thoughts in my life, because it made me what I am. It taught me what I know. So focus upon this symbol, bring it into your life. We may paint it live at the Dion Fortune discussion circle on Facebook. We now have 7 to 8 new members. And full moon, this full moon, in this private group, it's going down after my 44th birthday in late February 2024. Be there or be square. I'm Alex Ansary, reminding you the path to the ultimate truth and place of power still lies within. Google Dion Fortune Magical Battle of Britain. Get a hard copy via Thrift Books or Amazon.